Chiquinha, Chiquinha.
Go check out the road.
Chiquinha.
Okay, I'm the content creator for this channel. If you like what I'm doing, just subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, so this is Sao Paulo ruins. This is kind of captured a little bit. So we're just gonna check it all out from up above. Then we're gonna walk down the steps. And there's a lot of interesting stuff all over the place in this area. There's every direction you can kind of go towards. There's a little temple right there, Chinese temple, right behind this giant Sao Paulo ruins one, which is a facade. Then there's a kind of a cool street right there, has all this artwork where they do like it's called Street of Travessa de it's like strong, can't remember the word, but it's like strong love basically. And people put their names in there. I've focused on that street before. If you want me to do that street again, let me know. Just let me put it in the comments and let me know, and I'll focus on it. Okay, so we're gonna walk down from Sao Paulo ruins. You kind of see. So yeah, this is goes all the way down to Senado Square. There's Grand Lisboa Casino, and then let me see. I think that's Wynn Casino over there too. So you can see a handful of casinos. Let's just kind of take a look at the Sao Paulo ruins before we go down. There it is. There it is. Before we go down too, let's just kind of take a look too. There's a fortress over here. Kind of a bright light, but we'll get around the bright light a little bit. There's a fortress that's up there, and you can kind of see it up in that way a little bit. And over there, there's some COVID testing. So we're gonna be walking by that COVID testing, and but we'll probably do the stairs while we go down, because you can kind of see some context. Let's just kind of go a little bit closer into the into this side so we can see inside this church briefly while it's open a little bit. You won't see much, but there's basically a security guard there. Okay. Kind of iconic Macau. And we're gonna head down this way. And basically this steps is, there's a certain number of steps here. I forget the number, I think it's 144. But there's a specific number of steps, and it has some kind of religious value, I think. All those apartment buildings everywhere. Sao Paulo ruins right there. That's the fortress over there. Grand Lisboa Casino. So we're gonna walk on down. A lot of people will hang out here on the steps, especially when the tourist season comes. It is kind of tourist season for Chinese. Foreigners can't come in. It's COVID era, so I kind of document the city, exactly what's going on. And yeah, foreigners have not been able to come back for almost 2 years. Well, it's been a year and a half. It's almost October, so it started, COVID started January 2020. And then I think the restrictions were March, I believe. And some of the foreigners, they maybe they were in Hong Kong, maybe they have work visas or apartments or families, but they don't have the resident card. And then they weren't able to come back to their apartments or their jobs or their businesses if they owned. Like Premier Bar is one of those. The owner there went to Mongolia with his wife when COVID hit, and I think they were just going to go there just for a few weeks or whatever, and then they were never allowed to come back. So luckily their business is still going. I see lots of other foreign businesses that are gone. A lot of the foreign community, a lot of the schools are missing teachers who are foreigners, and so there's a lot of that's missing at this time. And then this is where they're doing all the COVID testing right now, because this time in history it's COVID testing. This is the second, this is one of the sites. There's 52 sites, I believe, 48 or 52, something like that. And they're testing right here, and they're all lined up. And this is the second time they've done it. And the line kind of goes down a little ways. And basically Macau, luckily, has had very little COVID. but they're also like really strongly closed, especially to foreigners. But I think there's like something like 25,000, average about 25,000 mainland Chinese come in every day and have been for most of this year, 2021. 2020 there was restrictions that kind of gradually loosened up throughout that year, and then this year it's been pretty much wide open, but foreigners still can't come back. So that's been the case. Not only tourists are definitely not allowed if they're foreign tourists. If they're mainland Chinese, they can come here, no problem. It's like they're organizing a little bit. Okay, we have quite a few people at Sao Paulo ruins today. It is a Sunday, so most of the people that you see here, actually I think some people are lining up, so but you'll see tourists from mainland China. There's a lot of tourists from mainland China that are going to be here next weekend, especially because it's a big holiday. And then the other ones, if you see foreigners here, which include Portuguese or Filipino or any other, they have never been able to leave, so they're just here all the time since COVID started in 2020, started January 2020, so they were already here when it hit, and they haven't been able to leave the city. But if you're Chinese, they have something called a homecoming visa, so they can go in and out of mainland China, so they'll travel all over China, and Chinese people will come here. So the city is open to about 1.5 billion people on the planet. It's at about 25% of the planet can come here, but all the foreigners that are not Chinese cannot come into the city, even if they have apartments, jobs, or whatever, which is too bad, but we're documenting things exactly how they are in time, and that's exactly the way it is at the moment. But yeah, this is kind of the walk from Sao Paulo ruins down to Senado Square. And actually I haven't seen this many people in such a long time. Yeah, so actually Macau's pretty, they're doing this, there is COVID, there's three new cases, so we're gonna see what happens. We're pretty wide open for mainland Chinese, so there's a big holiday weekend, and they're really promoting to get as many mainland Chinese tourists as they can in the city during that time, so that's been in newspapers quite a bit. But yeah, at the same time, simultaneously, there's no foreigners are allowed, so absolutely none, except one exception. If they have the residence card, then they can come in, which most foreigners do not have, or they happen to have been in Hong Kong the entire time and want to come into Macau, because Hong Kong is equally close. Actually, newspapers say that Hong Kong is the most closed city in the world, but actually the newspapers are not right. It's Macau. Macau has way fewer routes in and out. It's only 3: Singapore, Taiwan, and China. There's only 3 planes that go out of Macau, and only Chinese can do those routes. Actually, we can go to Singapore as a resident. You can go to Singapore, but you can't come back, or you can come back, but you can't transfer to another. It's really hard to come back to another city. Anyways, that's kind of the way it is at the moment. And I think we're going to be running out of battery juice in a minute, but that's Sao Paulo ruins down here on a beautiful Sunday night in Macau. So I hope you like this video. Yeah. And I want to also say that I really like Macau a lot, and I love being part of it, and I'm glad to be living in the city, and I hope that we can reunite with families and friends and see some of the